Hello guys, and we're back for our round 4 footy bets. It's been not too bad. Like, this has been the best start to March I've ever had. Like, March is usually the shittest round of footy. I always say that. There's role changes, teams drop off, teams spike early on, tipping is hard. It's been very difficult, but at the end of the day, we're still winning 30% or more of our bets, and that's what we aim to do with the $3 odds. So it's been huge. Anyway, we'll quickly go through the round 2 results there on the far left. We got the round 3 results here. The misses. So this is the most recent one because I'm back. I'm back in Brisbane. So thanks for putting up with no video last week while I was down in Melbourne. It was great seeing family, friends, wedding, all that. So, but now back to business. So I won't go too long on the recap and stuff. But for the bets for... Oh, this is round 2. This is ages ago now. So the Hawthorn-Sydney game, Matt Roberts just missed, playing wing and sort of kind of halfback. I'd be keen to bet on him again, depending on his odds. We'll quickly fly through this because this is 2 weeks ago now. Tim English just missed. I can't believe that miss against Lockie McAndrew. Guys played like 3 games of footy and Tim English can't get 2 disposals in the last half. I think he got 1 or 2 posies after half time. That was fucking rough. James Tresice actually got dropped after this game. So someone who was 10 out of 10 had only missed like twice for the last year and a half and then just puts up an absolute stinker on the wing there. So, yep, they're very unlucky. But here we go. Then we can start to get the win for the GWS St Kilda game. This was crazy. So we're able to put our bonus bet straight into this one. So that was fantastic. And the Marcus Windhager recount was unreal. So for anyone who missed that, Windhager finished on, I think it was 21 posies, and then after the game it was like umming and ahhing, and he got the 22. So that was fantastic. So we're able to finally bounce back with that one. Round 5 or game 5, the Richmond. Oh, sorry, that's following week. Freo versus Melbourne. So Freo pumped Melbourne. I think it was early in the first half. But yeah, Josh Tracy, I was very happy with that. He's looking like the best big full forward in the comp at the moment. Anyway, I won't yap on about the wins because they've been looking really good. Braden Fiorini, a lot of Essendon players just got shot in the ass for that game. That's where Port absolutely pumped Essendon. So yeah, just very unlucky about that one. Braden Fiorini usually gets a lot of footy, has been doing it at Gold Coast. And he was doing all right to start the year for Essendon. He was 20. Got 20 disposals in his first game, but yeah, it just looked like a busted ass there, and you can't really blame him when Port Adelaide are just pumping your side and everyone in Essendon just looks deplorable and your coach calls it like pathetic or demoralizing. So yeah, whatever, we'll see what he's paying for the next game. Game 7, so I think this was the last one, and we're able to put that bonus bet from the Fiorini miss into this one. Again, nothing tricky, it's the same odds, whatever. Yeah, anyway, they all hit, which was great. The West Coast game in the following week, not as good. But yeah, that is the quick recap for round 2. So now let's just go to round 3. Round 3, there was 7 games. So the first one, the Geelong-Adelaide game hit, which was great. Josh Worrell looked fantastic. Got to really start upping his bracket. He's looking amazing. Max Holmes had a cracking second half and still managed to hit. I was at that game. That was really good. This is the game I missed because of the wedding, but Darcy Cameron usually would hit when Mason Cox was in the team, but Oscar, it's not Steele, I forget his last name, Steen. He played a lot more of pretty much every like CBA, I'm pretty sure. And at the Collingwood Brisbane game that I was at last night, yeah, he's the only big guy I could really notice. So I didn't realize how much of an impact he would have at the main stoppages and all like around the ground, and Darcy Cameron just kind of sits in the forward line. So I thought it would be maybe more 70-30, not like 50-50 or whatever. So keep that in mind for Darcy Cameron. His posse brackets are going to drop, while Steen, I'm pretty sure it is in the side. Let me just quickly have a look. Anyway, and the last one was Harry Himmelberg. So Steen, yeah. Actually, Darcy Cameron had more hitouts last night. But yeah, Harry Himmelberg, genuine miss. That can happen, but otherwise he's been pretty consistent. As you can see from the image below, Harry Himmelberg was 9 out of 10. He had an 83% hit rate last year, so he's bound to miss a couple, so that shit happens. Game 3. So this was super annoying. Again, I was at this game. It was great to see Brisbane get the win, but Jack Silvani kicked it into someone's foot and it went out of bounds. Lasso rule, and then so he got to kick it back in. You think it's 2 posies, right? But he just got the 1. Typically with kicks, if they're smothered off the boot straight away, like I know it wasn't technically a smother, he's kicked it into someone's leg, but if the ball doesn't travel after a kick, it's not going to count as a kick. So if someone kicks it and it travels a meter and someone smothers it, that counts as a kick. But if the ball doesn't actually sort of like leave the boot, it just punts it into something, a smother, a leg, a ricochet, it doesn't count as a disposal. So that one was very unlucky. Otherwise, that one could have easily hit. Game 4. This is the Freo Richmond game. So I actually was out, so I forgot to put the bonus bet onto this one, but luckily the Essendon North Melbourne one hit. And for anyone who missed these bets or whatever, I do apologize. I was trying to keep you guys updated, but while I was down, I was catching up with a friend for the Brisbane game, and then I went caught up with my sister and her partner, and I'm just obviously limited for time, so I didn't have time to post the bets with plenty of notice. But what I did was I just update the Excel spreadsheet, so if going forward I give you guys that link, and then I can update the games. Yeah, so hopefully that's been handy, because I saw a lot of people manage to jump on this bet and the Essendon North game coming up, which I'll just show now because that bet hit. That's fine. The Essendon North one hit, and the bonus bet from the Jack Silvani miss, I managed to throw it onto this one instead. So that was fantastic. Again, apologize because this probably was uploaded 15 minutes before the game. So unless you've just got it open in the background or constantly checking, usually I'm a bit, I have a bit more grace period, but yeah, forgive me while I was down there. So that was the game for Saturday night, which was awesome. But then Sunday was pretty rough. West Coast played great in that second half. But yeah, Elliot Yeo with the injury, of course, the groin. So he pretty much missed the second half. Jack Graham teed it off. Liam Duggan all had a shocker, well, very quiet fourth quarter. But Ruben Jimby, like, he's been very consistent. Like, he's missed the 2, actually. I might be able to see it under here. Ruben Jinby, he's missed 1 game in the last like 2 years, and then he gets 5 posies. Yes, I know he plays lockdown. Yes, he's a defender. His main job is not to get the footy, but yeah, that was his lowest posie game in a long time. So very unlucky about that. The final game on Sunday was Carlton and Melbourne, and Jacob Van Ruin. Yeah, super unlucky. That shit happens. Like, I kind of like betting on the 10 posie bracket for a key forward. Josh Tracy or Riley Thilthorpe or Jake Waterman, whatever the heck. But yeah, Van Ruin just didn't look it for the whole game. And Carlton was smashing him early, so he didn't get a touch in the first quarter. And then he was just kind of getting his 1s, 2s, 3s, whatever after that. But yeah, it was too little too late. So yeah, unlucky. But I mean, I don't not like the pick. He was 10 out of 10. Had a very good hit rate, so hit in both occasions, and not to mention Lewis Young had given up 9 scoring shots to Tom Lynch, and I'm pretty sure in the Carlton game as well, Charlie Curnow had more than 10 touches. So Carlton were giving up posies to full forwards, and yeah, that one just looked like a good one. So can't help that sometimes. But again, let's just reiterate, because I feel like some people do still forget the bets you have to win, right? So look at all these misses, all like we only have to win 30% of bets to make a profit. Well, that's actually to break even. And then if you're able to get a bonus bet on top, fantastic. But you're always going to lose more than you win. It's literally, it's just how it is. Like because the players are human. Doesn't matter how much research you do, time put into ifs, buts, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda shit. That's just punting. So if you get the right odds, the right formula, you stick at it, you don't go anything too crazy. This is how we can slowly build the kitty up while we're losing more than we're winning. I might have to do another video explaining it, but I hope everyone's following this, because my kitty's going up and I'm winning like anywhere between 30, 40, 50% of the time. So that's just what it is if you pick the right odds and stick by it. So let's go on to the games for this week. Round 4. Flew through that as a recap. So game 2, right? So we have North Melbourne versus Carlton. Good Friday game, 2:15 p.m. Brisbane time. I think daylight savings ends this weekend, so the times will line up. But yeah, so we've actually gone Tom Blamiras. He's looked really, really good. Just was a late pickup or something. Was he a mature recruit? But I do notice him in the back with like the broad shoulders, blonde hair. So he's been getting a lot of the footy, and for 15 plus, for someone like, I would never bet on this guy like straight up. But once you see him just doing it sort of consistently, 23, 16, 17, I'm kind of happy to include him now. His role seems very sturdy, not getting dropped, just consistent. So it's a small sample size, but I like someone who's very consistent. Finn O'Sullivan had one of the best tagging games on Zach Merritt. Did a good job on Zach Butters like the week before that too. So yeah, really like Finn O'Sullivan. I'm not expecting the world from him though, because he is tagging. His main priority is to stop the opposition ball getter, but he's getting a lot of it himself. Am I expecting 24 posies each week? No, but I'm definitely expecting around 15. So I really like that for Finn O'Sullivan, especially someone who's playing a lot on the ball. And his last year stats aren't great because that's when he was just playing halfback flank, not doing too much down there, especially when Daniel and McKercher are getting a lot of it. So now that he's on ball, really like it. Elijah Hollins just had that one miss this year with 14 posies. So that was when he actually sat on the ball in the last couple of seconds and just didn't get the handball out. So he could easily be 3 for 3 this year. That being said, I still think he's fantastic price. And because like his data is a bit skewed, right? So because he didn't play much last year because of the personal reasons, yeah, I still think he's going to go around 70, 80% hit rate for this year, especially for 15 posies. So Elijah Hollins has looked pretty good early. I'm happy to keep backing that. Tom Powell, I was worried about back end of last year when he was playing more of a wing role. Jai Simpkin seems to has that locked down. Not saying Tom Powell is playing all purely CBAs. He does play still a lot half forward or on the wing, but he's getting a lot of it and also helping around the ground, which I love to see. So he's often in a chain kick up the ground where Sheasel's getting at the back line, looking for a target. Tom Powell's making space. He's running hard, and that's great to see. Adam Chera playing his first game for the year, so I thought his hammy was done for like 2 months or something, but he's back. For 18 plus, I think is fantastic. So his hit rate last year, he missed once. This year coming in, I know it's his first game, but yeah, this is the best price you're going to get for him for 18 plus. Usually he'll be this price for around 20. So yeah, I'm more than happy to take it. He's got the record. He's good to go. He's going to be playing a lot on ball. So Carlton really need just that extra help or actually they shouldn't. They've got Smith, Walsh, Cripps. And actually, speaking of that, Finn O'Sullivan's been tagging. I don't know who he's going to go to. I mean, it would be kind of cool if he went to Smith, but I don't think he will. I think it's going to be Walsh, then Cripps, and Chera's not even going to get a mention. So he's a midfielder for Carlton who I think is going to go tag free. There is George Hewitt, but he gets low game time. We'll get to him. Anyway, so we've rearranged the form guide. We've got the goal kickers up the top. Just to make it easy for me, when I sort the stats on the back end, I go 1, 2, 3 for the goal kickers. 1, 2, 3, and then I go 10, 12. I just like to have the small numbers at the top so I can rearrange it. Cameron Zurhaar, yeah, sure. I think actually North are a good chance to win this. So I think Carlton are $1.60. Like, I'm surprised North aren't favourites. So a goal kicker for North Melbourne, I like. And backing that same reason, Nick Larkey for 2. Yeah, I really rate it. So I think, look, whatever, if Carlton's midfield are better, they start early, we've seen them fade, everyone's been talking about it. Doesn't really matter. There's going to be a point where North are going to score. And I think Nick Larkey for 2 is great. It doesn't matter if he's playing on Wiedemann or whatever. I like Nick Larkey. Let's go to the 10 and 12 posies. No value there in the 10. 12, Harry Mackay. As I said, we've been betting on some of the key forwards this year for 10 or 12 posies. They're actually pretty good value. So you don't have to worry about them hitting the scoreboard. They're marking it up the line. Yes, there'll be a couple of misses like Van Ruin last week, who got 5. But yeah, Harry Mackay, he's missed 2 since last year. Like $1.19, he's very close to the price I like. So yeah, I was very tempted to include him. And for the same reason before, I think Carlton have a really strong mid, especially with Adam Chera coming back and Jager Smith popping. I think there's going to be a lot of inside 50 entries for Carlton. Mitch McGovern, not that confident on. I mean, can be a bit injury prone, can go missing, but yeah, he's hit rate is just screaming to be picked right now. So yeah, he's getting the job done, but I know he's been criticised as well just for what are you doing moments. But yeah, Mitch McGovern there is a decent option. 14 posi bracket, no one I really like. Luke McDonald, he's a bit too inconsistent for me. And they're not much value for these guys. But then if we come to the 15 posi bracket, Ollie Hollands, I was very tempted to include, but I just want his brother, so better price. And I think they've been getting around similar disposals. I know they're not playing sort of the same position. Ollie Hollands plays more sort of wing, half back. Elijah Hollands will be playing half forward and also coming around to stoppages. But yeah, I like Elijah Hollands, especially with Carlton most likely winning a lot of CBAs. Tom Blamiris, in the back line, spoken about, been consistent early. And Finn O'Sullivan will be around the footy a lot and the best players for Carlton. So 16 plus, Ollie Florent, he's actually dropped down a bracket. So you'd usually get him for this price around 18 plus. But Nick Newman is back, so keep that in mind. Ollie Florent might not get all the kickouts that he has been getting lately. It's nothing setting the world on fire, just like, actually, Richmond, he got 8. But otherwise, he got 3 or 2. I expect a lot of that to go to Nick Newman. But I think there's still a decent chance Ollie Florent's going to hit. Nick Newman hasn't played in like 2 years, so his minutes are probably going to be managed. I wouldn't bet on... Yeah, I'd just avoid Nick Newman. Players like that, yes, we've seen them do it in the past, but that was the past. So let's just see how they go once they get a couple of games under their belt. 18 plus, Tom Powell mentioned, Adam Chera, the guys I bet. Caleb Daniel. So I was bullish on him. I mean, I've always been bullish on Caleb Daniel since going to North Melbourne. Why? They recruited him because they wanted his distribution out of the half back line, and they're obviously too stubborn to drop him or change it, and so he's keeping that role. But we saw last week he went to the half forward line, and I was still bullish on him because I was like, he's probably going to do like the Grind Myers role, like Dylan Moore. I mean, not obviously marking and kicking goals, but I'm talking about the inside 50 kicks, because they know he's not. That's what he's there to do, right? Provide an option and kick the footy to a target. But they didn't use him at all. So when he was playing in the half forward role, I was like, yep, 18, I still like that. I don't care if he's not getting the little seagull ones in the back line. They're still going to use him. They did not use him at all. And half time came around, they put him back in the back line. So I like it. Obviously, if he's playing in the back line, the odds and form there are great, but just the uncertainty of where he's going to play, because their experiment for a half of footy with him kind of failed, but maybe they've trained it this week. Maybe they've said, keep your eyes up for Daniel. Let's try it again. I don't know. But so anyway, that's my concern with Caleb Daniel at the moment, just the uncertainty of his position. If he goes back in the half back line, sure, we'll reassess it. But I think Colby McKercher is their guy that they want to use. Down there. And Luke Parker's playing pretty well in the back line too. So Caleb Daniel, it's a tough one because he's screaming out to be picked. So just be cautious, right? Look, he hasn't missed since last year. Since going to North Melbourne, he hasn't missed. We saw that first half against Essendon too. Like, he wasn't being used as a high half forward against Essendon, like a bottom 2 side or whatever this year. So, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to like that against Carlton, who are probably also a bottom side, but yeah, didn't like what I saw. Anyway, let's move on. Luke Parker, who I spoke about in the back line, who I really like, getting a fuck ton of it back there, providing a nice mature body, senior head who's just not going to sort of panic, and he's been fantastic, taking some kick outs too, but I think him and McKercher are working off each other pretty well down there. Luke Parker can also take good intercept marks. He's around the stoppages, so if he just was up a little bit more in price, around like $1.25, I'd be really considering him, but $1.19 not quite as much, even though he's averaging 26 to start the year for North. 22, not enough value for any of these guys. Look, Jagger Smith, yeah, sure, but I think he's down in this price bracket for a reason, where people are unsure if he's going to get tagged, because, yeah, he should be in the 25 plus category. But, yeah, I've highlighted Colby McKercher because after his game last week, he took a little while to get the ball rolling to start the year, but, yeah, now he's getting 35 touches. Colby McKercher has got a very high ceiling and a very low floor. So if he's up here, it's a great time to bet on him. You just got to be careful when it is, but he's had the one game to show that he's maybe back at that ceiling, so let's get ready. LDU, I think, has started the year fantastic. He just missed once by one posi. I don't think he's going to cop any attention, so that's why I'd kind of rather go, the best North Melbourne Bull midfielder. There's obviously Harry Sheezel down below, but he gets a lot of his footy just around the ground, running and making space, and not necessarily the contested footy. But yeah, so I do like Sheezel, speaking of. Also, the new categories that I've included down below, I've started to include fantasy footy. Kind of like NBA. You know, when you bet on NBA, you've got rebounds, points, assists, or PRA, or whatever that betting category is, where it's all of the stats, compiled together. That was getting me interested with the fantasy footy, because that's essentially what it is. It's all, your tackles, your marks, your spoils, hit outs, kicks, handballs, all that crap compiled together. I'm not really into fantasy footy. I'm very into Supercoach, and the scoring's quite different because it's kind of has a bit of subjective value, whereas fantasy footy is more objective. It doesn't really matter what you do. As far as I know, like if it's an effective kick or a whatever kick, it's usually worth the same points. So anyway, I thought we'd find a bit of value here, but as we can maybe slowly scroll down, there's not too much. I mean, yeah, Adam Chera, George Hewitt, but what I'm also finding is the range is quite a lot different, right? So with disposals, a player's range can usually be a nice tight sort of figure. So sure, they might spike or might have a bad game, but they're kind of outliers. What I'm finding a lot with the fantasy footy is it's just regular, where like a player might still have 20 posies and have a shit fantasy footy score, or they'll have 20 posies and have a great one. Depends all the extra stuff they're doing around the ground. So yeah, keep that in mind. I just wanted to add these to see if any diamonds in the rough would pop up, but nothing at the moment. I mean, there was one down below that I'll get to in a second that I was very tempted for, and here he is. Harry Sheezel for 105. He was 9 out of 10, $1.24. Last year, he's only going a 50% hit rate, but to start the year, he's been really good. I know he's been criticized for his kicking, but, at the end of the day, we're just going for bulk touches, bulk stats for Harry Sheezel, so I was very tempted by that one. But annoyingly, the $1.24 for fantasy footy isn't quite the same as $1.24 for like disposals, because I put in Harry Sheezel and I was under $3, and then I put in like Adam Chera for the same price, but it goes up over $3, so it's very odd. So we're just new to this space, but we'll track it for the meantime, see what happens. But yeah, there might be some good picks that come in future, but I'm not going to spend too much time on the AFL fantasy stuff. All right, back to the top. Cool. Let's go to the second game for Friday, which is Adelaide versus Fremantle. Also, sorry if I'm sounding so drained. I've been like sick. Anyway, we're getting better. We're pushing through this video. Round 4, Adelaide versus Freo. We've gone. I was very bullish on Riley Thilthorpe last week against Geelong. I was like, I'm going to hold off because it was wet, greasy, raining conditions, but he still hit. So Adelaide Oval, there's a very minimal chance of rain. At his home ground, I really like him for 12 touches. I'm actually bullish on him for 2 goals because he just missed down here. Yeah, speaking of, anyway, coming off a miss, he's had 2 scoring shots in every game. That miss he had last week could have easily been 2 goals because Isaac Rankin touched it on the line. Anyway, so I like big Riley Thilthorpe to bounce back. Also, Riley O'Brien is back in the side, so Riley Thilthorpe won't have to do any rucking. He didn't in this game because the guy from North Melbourne was back. Name has slipped my mind, but yeah, I like Riley Thilthorpe for this one. And he's playing on Alex Pearce. So anyway, I like Riley Thilthorpe for 2, but I thought the 12 posies up here was a bit safer. Neil Erasmus has been starting the year great. He was obviously not hitting as much last year. Well, still 79% because he would have low time on ground or sub-affected games. But to start the year, he's gone 21, 21, 21. So awesome. I love that. Getting a lot of the footy around the ball on the wings. So yeah, Neil Erasmus jumped straight in the bet. Luke Ryan, who came in 2 weeks ago with 24 posies, had a bit of a quiet one against Richmond after they pumped them, which is fine. It was at Optus Stadium and they beat Richmond by however many points. So I'm fine if Luke Ryan doesn't hit that week. But after a miss and he's locked himself back in the side, I'm jumping on Luke Ryan, and it's for 16. So I'm not asking a 20 posie game for Luke Ryan, 16. And he missed once last year and he's missed once now to start this year. So I'm more than happy to jump on him for a bounce back. Josh Richelli, he has shown that his midfield time is like almost not, it's not an experiment, it's legit. They need him in there. Also for a bit of versatility, because, I mean, you've got Dawson, who's great, doesn't really accumulate as much, but then Berry, Peatling, who was the other guy in there? They're all kind of just, Berry has stepped up a bit this year, I'll give him that, but kind of very one-dimensional. Jake Saligo, I can give him the cop-out as well because he had that heart surgery. But yeah, Josh Rochelle, his midfield minutes have gone 52%, 35%, and 64%. He's the one getting the midfield time instead of Isaac Rankin. They just left him in the forward line getting tagged by Mullen. Didn't give a shit about him, but Josh Rochelle's getting 31 posies around the ground. So I really like that. I'm still tempted on Rankin, but, you know, we'll get to him. But Josh Rochelle, this year, that midfield role seems legit. And I was at that game last week where he had the 31, and yeah, he looked great. So I'm very keen to catch him this week for $1.22 for 18 plus. I wouldn't go anything higher, but yeah, happy with 18. Jordan Clark, usually Luke Ryan's, you know, well, him and Luke Ryan pop off together. So Luke Ryan had a miss last week, happy to include. And Jordan Clark, if you can get him for over $1.20 in the 20 posi bracket, I pretty much always take that. Because there'll be times where he's like $1.11, $1.15, but we've finally got him for good value. So he missed once out of his last 10 by 1 posi. He missed 3 times last year. Like, I don't have to say anything about Jordan Clark. He's playing great in the back line there for Freo. Goal scorers, Paddy Voss, the prancing pony. He loves a goal, loves to let everyone know about it. So yeah, I could see him kicking one at Adelaide Oval. Isaac Rankin, 10 out of 10. So his midfield minutes haven't spiked at all. Well, so he had 32% in his first game, and then he had 5% last week. 5. So that just really goes to show that they're keeping Josh Rochelle in the midfield. Isaac Rankin, you stay in the forward line. And so I don't know how long, but from the data that we've seen so far, the small sample size, I would much rather go Isaac Rankin for a goal. But also, he's like just kicking ones and stuff. He only missed 3 last year. Yeah, no, I do like Isaac Rankin for a goal. But I'm also tempted for the big thriller for 2. Yeah, both. I'm very tempted by both these guys. Anyway, Luke Jackson's a chance. Not as keen on, but yeah, Rankin and Thilthorpe. Josh Tracy is looking like the best full forward in the comp, but I just think I would much rather go Riley Thilthorpe to bounce back and kick 2 than Josh Tracy to kick another 3 or 4. Especially when, like, Murray, there's no buts this week, but Murray's been playing really good. So I don't think he'll stop Josh Tracy, but Worrell's down there as well. No, I do like Josh Tracy, but yeah, just Thilthorpe I like better. All right, let's go to the 10 and 12 posi. No value here. Let's go straight out of this 10 posi. Look at the 12. Ben Keys, very tempting. Very tempting, especially when he's like $1.20 for 12. It's not much we're asking for old Keezer. So yeah, nothing more to say. He missed 2 last year. He's only just hitting. That's what you get when you play sort of forward pocket. So not expecting a lot of footy, but 12 posies, sure. Judd McVie I've highlighted, you know, had an alright start to the season at Fremantle. And, you know, I know him and sort of Warner were keeping Luke Ryan out of the side originally. So I've just highlighted. I'm not that keen on. Much rather go Luke Ryan with the runs on the board. But, yeah, keep an eye on Judd McVie if he's just constantly hitting. And at this price bracket, right? I'm not keen on him for 14 or 15. But if he's at this price for 12, just to watch out for. Yeah, the big thriller, we spoke about him. Isaac Rankin, I've highlighted. And I've actually highlighted in the 15 plus. But yeah, huge little asterisks that he's playing a lot more forward. Again, small sample size, so he could go back on ball. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So he got tagged. I like him for the bounce back, so there's definitely reasons I would bet on him. But so don't be too worried about that 7. A sloppy, greasy game where he's getting Mullen, you know, biting at his heels all game. You can easily forgive that. What I just don't like is him just sitting so much in the forward line. So it's not the tag, it's just where he's playing. So keep that in mind. Luke Ryan, bounce back, Luke Jackson. Matthew Johnson, yeah, very similar to Neil Erasmus, who I'm very bullish on. Very good hit rates, consistent. His misses in his last 10 have been 14 and 14. So, but they're from, one was this year. So yeah, I like Matt Johnson playing wing ball role. Neil Erasmus, Luke Ryan, Matt Johnson, we've all spoke about. The same candidates popping up. Sam Berry, I liked last week, right? That's why I included him. But this week, not as much. So I would much rather go Berry when, you know, there's a bit of change in the midfield, but now Dawson's come back. So that just enough is for me to just be like, oh, let's just see how we go. I know we got 22 last time with Dawson, but I mean, yeah, fuck. I do like Berry. I can highlight him, but I'm just not as bullish on. Whoops. Yeah, nice. Cool. Spoken about these same guys. The 18 and 20 posi bracket. Jordan Dawson. Yeah, I'm tempted to bet him for 18 plus or 20. He's not much like of a high ceiling accumulator with like your 30 pluses or 25 pluses even for that matter. So he's usually low 20s. So I like someone with a bit more buffer. That's why if he was paying a smidge more on the 18 plus, I would have got him in a heartbeat. If he was like $1.19, $1.20, I would have picked him up. But that's where Josh Rochelli's midfield role is just screaming at the moment. So ignore his hit rate from last year. That's where he was in the forward pocket, not doing too much. But with him on ball, you know, he's looking exciting. It's another dimension for Adelaide's mid. So yeah, I'm bullish on Rochelli. 20 plus, Worrell is almost at a good price. And even with that calf injury, like it's not even, it's just concern, right? So he got 30 posies with it, looked fine. He's great back there. Probably almost Adelaide's next captain. So yeah, I like Josh Worrell, even like him enough for 22. But these guys up here are just slightly safer picks in my opinion. Clark and Dawson. Shai Bolton, let's just see it for a bit longer. Yes, he's setting the world on fire right now, but we all know he can have a single-digit posi game. So let's just wait. Someone I'm more bullish on a Rochelli, where like I've seen it live. I watched him. Yeah, the role was completely there. Shai Bolton, I think they're going to continue to push him into Freo's mid every now and then. But yeah, $1.20 for 20 plus disposals for Shai Bolton. I'm just not that keen on. I guess I've been watching. It's a bit hypocritical when I've been keen on Rochelli, who's got very similar stat line. But yeah, I'm more bullish on Rochelli because I've had more of an eye on him, I guess. Shai Bolton, yeah, 71% CBAs the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it's tempting, but no, I'm sticking with Rochelli. 25 and 30, not much here. Caleb Sarong, yeah, sure, he's every chance to hit, but yeah, he'll usually go 60, 70% hit rate, so he just hit. I kind of like him after a miss. Same with, or Brayshaw I like after a miss, but I would rather him for 22, but he's just not paying good odds. Fantasy footy, we won't spend too much time on it, but I'll go down and show you this if you guys want to pause and have a little look at it. Riley Thilthorpe was a good candidate sticking out, but we've got him for 12 posies, so you don't really gain anything if you double up for him for fantasy footy. The odds don't go up, so yeah, no point double dipping in this. Jordan Dawson, I like, coming back after, forget what his injury was. Yeah, otherwise then not much else down here. So that is game 3. Let's go back to the top. So the first game of Sunday, we have Richmond versus Port. This one, there weren't too many options, but the ones that were here, I was happy to bet on. So we have Sam Banks for 16. Sam Banks for 16. Nick Vlosten for 16. Jack Ross, 18. Jacob Hopper for 20. Ollie Wines for 22. So it is a bit Richmond heavy, but they're the ones who are presenting the most value. Nick Vlosten, I didn't want to bet on him early in his first game back, and he missed, which is fine. Like, I'm expecting that for someone coming back. But he's shown in his second game he can still get a decent amount of the footy. So now that he's coming back to his third game, the wheels are going. So happy to bet on Nick Vlosten now. Sam Banks, I've been so bullish on for 18 plus for ages, but we're just dropping it down a posi bracket because his value's there. And also he's just not getting the kickouts that he once used to. So I know Vlosten and Short are getting kickouts, but Sam Banks would get them with them usually. He didn't get any last week, and Luke Traynor took 6. So you'll see I've highlighted Luke Traynor down below, but so it's not a concern at the moment that we can, it's not a concern for Banks at this posi bracket, right? So if I was very bullish on him for 18, it's because he was getting 2-3 kickouts a game. So if we're able to go down to 16 plus, get him for the same price, like if we're taking out those 2-3 kickouts, he's getting a game. It makes sense. So I'm happy to bet on Sam Banks. Jack Ross has started the year fantastic, averaging 23 posies, getting a lot of the footy on ball there for Richmond. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Great pick in my opinion. He's really stepped up from last year. Jacob Hopper He's missed once last year and missed once this year. Consistent as they come. Yeah, he doesn't excite me, I'm not going to lie, Jacob Hopper, but he's just getting the job done pretty much most weeks. Coming off a 20 posi game, I think he might get like 22, 23. Not a huge bounce back, but yeah, I see Jacob Hopper just getting 20 consistently and going unnoticed. Ollie Wines. So Ollie Wines is playing his first game for the year, but it's not for any injury concern. He got suspended in the Carlton game last year where he bumped Ollie Lord. So he actually played in the Sandful last week. I was surprised he didn't return, especially without Connor Rosie. And so Ollie Wines played the Sandful and he had 37 touches. He actually had 24 handballs. So I know it's a Sandful, but I'm just saying it's good to see that he's getting a lot of the footy, playing really well. And I think he'll really need to help Port Adelaide's mid without Rosie. Because, yeah, Hornet's okay as well. He's getting to his game time because he's coming off that foot concern. So he's been playing a bit in the forward line, a bit on ball. But Ollie Wines is just your bull. Does what he needs to do. He's got a couple of low game time scores here. But, yeah, I think they really need him on ball for this. And he's proved his fitness last week in the twos. So, yeah, I really like Ollie Wines for 22. Only missed once last year, even with the low game time worries. So, yeah, I really like Ollie Wines, especially against Richmond's midfield. We're not going up against like a Brisbane midfield or anything here. It's Richmond. So, yeah, I like Ollie Wines. The Hornet for goal. Yes, his midfield time has gone up a little bit, but he's also going to have time where he spends down forward. So I think against Richmond, I think actually Richmond are a decent chance to win this. They're $2.65. So I like Hornet for a goal, but I actually like him more for posies later, which we'll get to. So goal scorers, nothing else really here. The 10 posi bracket, no one I'm that keen on. No one there. 12, Ben Miller. His name keeps popping up every week for value here. And I just can't do it. I know he's taken a couple of kickouts. The ball should be in Richmond's backline a lot. But he's just not an accumulator like Jaden Short or Sam Banks. Or even Vloston. But yeah, Ben Miller I see him more as a sort of key defender. But he's just getting a lot of the footy each week, which is crazy to me. So, very good odds. Only 65% hit rate last year, but yeah, it's hard to avoid him. 14, posi bracket, Sam Laylor. Yes, he's playing more on ball this year, but not setting the world on fire. 16, 17, 15. So I'm not expecting crazy high ceilings, but yeah, he's going to be around the footy more this year than he was last year, playing in the forward line. So there's that to look out for, but I'm not that keen on it. 15 posi bracket, Luke Trainer, who's I would not highlight ever usually. But yeah, 6 kickouts last week. He had the most kickouts for Richmond. Yes, there were a bunch of points kicked in the Freo game, but yeah, he's keeping Sam Banks to none. So someone to watch out for. Logan Evans, I really liked last year, right? But a bit too inconsistent. So I've actually highlighted him. I wouldn't really go in for... I'd probably rather him for 14, but I don't think you can get him for value. But he's looking really good. And you know what? Because Kane Farrell... I like Kane Farrell, but Kane Farrell just is playing a bit lazy footy at the moment. Whereas Logan Evans actually running around trying, wanting to get the footy. So he's just showing a bit more effort. So I like Logan Evans. 16 plus, Will Drew. Yeah... I don't know why I've highlighted them for $1.13. Oh, it's probably because the odds, they're not quite $3. So I was like, I wanted to include one more person just to get it up. But he's just, I don't know. He's had 4 misses last year. Do I want to include someone for $1.13 just to get it to $3? I'm kind of happy with the picks at the moment. So I don't want to add too much extra risk. But the option's there. I'm just not that keen on it. Nick Vloston and Sam Banks I've spoken about for 16 plus. 18 and 20 posi bracket. So Hornet, his midfield minutes have gone up quite a bit. So in his first game, he had 27% in the midfield, then 50, then 66. So I think he'll get around that 50 to 65% again, because I think Ollie Wines will come in and take some of those minutes. But yeah, I think against a Richmond midfield, Jason Horne-Francis, every chance to get 18 plus. Jack Ross, spoken about, really like. Sam Banks, again, I'm very bullish on for 18 usually, but until I see him take a bit more kickouts, because he was fine when Jaden Short's there, Nick Vloston, they're not a concern. I just want to go I'm going for a lower posi bracket until I see him get a bit more actual free footy. Jacob Hopper, yep, does what he does. Ollie Wines, Tim Taranto. Tim Taranto is one off being 9 out of 10 as well. So I like Tim Taranto, but I don't want to go all Richmond players. I don't want to go Ross, Hopper, and Taranto. I can't go 3 Richmond mids, so the 2 is plenty, and then Ollie Wines in there for a Port mid. Zach Butters, I can see tearing this game apart, but $1.70, just for like what I see is almost going to be a coin flip if he does or doesn't. His last 2 games have been 30 plus, so I like it. Just I'd rather him for 25, but no value. Fantasy footy, there's a couple of picks here, but they seem to be the same candidates that are for the Posy bracket. So I'll quickly scroll down here if you want to have a look, if there's anyone presenting value for you, but none that I'm that keen on. I'm not even sure if I'll do these in future weeks because the scores seem like, look at all this red. But I know these are high scores for fantasy footy, so bet there's just not as many candidates. All right, on to the last game for Saturday, which is game 5. We have West Coast versus Sydney. So we've gone Tom McCarthy and Baker for 18, Isaac Heaney and Blakey for 20, and Harley Reid for 20. So it's kind of a top end heavy bet. It's not too top. It's not like multiple 22s or 25s. The highest we're going is 20. I forgot to include this, 3.22. But Harley Reid, his midfield minutes are crazy, and I didn't want to bet on it till I've seen him. And this is kind of why we wait for a couple of weeks, because I don't want to bet on him in round 1 or 2 where I'm going on a hunch. But 85, 83, 86%. He's averaging 85% like CBAs. Eagles want him around the footy at all times, and he's actually playing really good. So 23, 30, 21. I really like that pick. At this rate, I don't really care what midfield he's going up. He's around the footy so much, and he's like cocky. He wants the footy. He's playing well. He's showing why like he's that number 1 pick. So yeah, I really like Harley Reid. So for 20 plus, I know it's against Sydney. I mean, there's no Goulden, but yeah, Chad Warner, Isaac Heaney, Justin McInerney, they'll be great. But yeah, Harley Reid as Eagles' number 1 ball getter, I like that pick. Nick Blakey for 20. I think, yeah, he's 10 out of 10. I think West Coast, like they might keep it, I don't know, not that competitive. Sydney probably win by, I don't know, like 40 plus. But I think Nick Blakey does push up the ground. Sometimes in a lot of those easy wins, like we saw it last night with Brisbane and Collingwood, a lot of Brisbane players just rack up the footy. So Dane Zorko hit where I thought he would miss, but in the last quarter, when the game's done, he got 10 posies. So I can really see Nick Blakey just having a big quarter if West Coast have rolled over, and him just pushing up the ground, having fun, having shots from 50 out. So I like that with Nick Blakey. Isaac Heaney, you could argue he's just had the 1 miss in his last 10, because this 16 here that's highlighted in red was actually when he came off concussed last week. It's included because it's over. I exclude anything below like 40% time on ground. This was actually 60%. So if he stayed on the ground, he could have hit 20 plus. So yeah, I like Isaac Heaney. Liam Baker and Tom McCarthy. Tom McCarthy's been taking more kickouts now that Ryan Marrick's out of the side. And Tom McCarthy, if he's playing on the ball or halfback, whatever the heck, he's a great chance to hit. He's only missed twice in his career, and they're both 17 and 17 posies. So for $1.19, very close to $1.20 for 18 plus. I just really like the pick. Liam Baker, he can have those great captain moments. He's hungry, he's fast, he's quick. Yeah, Liam Baker, I'll keep betting on at this price because he's probably only going to miss 2-3 times a year. So yeah, I like Liam Baker. It does everything that you want from just a little small defender. So yeah, really like Liam Baker. The picks here, Tom Papley and Malcolm Roses for a goal. Sure, if anything, I'd probably go Roses just for he's kicked a goal in every game for Sydney this year. He ignored when he was back at Gold Coast, but yeah, I think he can keep the streak going. If Sydney are going to win by 40 plus, how we think it's going to go. Tom Papley, yeah, I think he can. He's 1 game off being 8 out of 10, but yeah, these picks kind of are just like whims, whereas these ones I feel way more certain on. So 10 plus, Jake Waterman, he's got hands like a vice. He's getting around the ground. He's actually taken some marks up the ground in the defensive 50, so that's really good to see for a full forward. like who's happy to run around the ground and get footy if it's not coming into the forward 50. So for 10 posies, I really like that for Jake Wardman. They've done it a couple times where we've bet a big full forward for 10 or 12 plus. So yeah, I'm not scared by that pick at all. 12, no one presenting value. I wanted to bounce back on Ruben Jimby, but he's probably going to be locking down Charlie Curnow. But I still think he's going to get 10, 11, 12 posies. So especially after that 5. Anyway, I'm not going to highlight, not going to get tempted into it again until we see it for a bit longer. Not much value here. No one I like. I'm not going Tom Papley. Actually, maybe a small full forward in a blowout could get a lot. That 9 was when he had reduced minutes against Carlton, round 1. He had 27 posies last time they played. That's crazy. So anyway, keep that in mind. I should turn this on. I wonder if this actually helps you guys see. I do this when I'm working on it, but it kind of helps see. Maybe it's a bit much. Tom McCartan, yeah, not keen on. Anyway, so let's go to the 15. Again, not much value. Willem Dersma, I could probably highlight. His first game he missed with 14, but he seems to be like, you know, that Bontempelli build where he's not going to get a lot of footy. Like Bont is getting a lot of footy now. He can have 30 plus, but you know how Bont has been like a really good 20 plus or 22 disposal getter, 1, 2, 3 goals, plenty of scoring assists, just every disposal is like effective. So that's what I'm seeing Willem Dersma at the moment. But for 15 plus, yeah, I actually kind of like that pick. Oh god, I feel so sick. I'm gonna have a nap after this. Liam Duggan, I think he can bounce back in the back line there. So he went a bit quiet in the last quarter, but I think the ball being down there in Eagles back line, he'll have every chance. Matt Roberts, I reckon he can bounce back after the Hawthorn game. Yeah, wherever he's playing on the wing, halfback, I don't really care. I just think he can still hit, but yeah, just not that bullish on because his bracket, his ceiling isn't too high anymore. Especially with, you know, Mills, Blakey, Riley Bice down there. You know, Matt Roberts is just going to play wing, just running laps up there. So I would much rather go, yeah, these two boys who are going to see a lot of the footy in the back line there. I would love it for a bit higher price, but yeah, happy to take Tom McCarthy for like $1.19. 20 plus, Callum Mills, very tempted too, but I like Isaac Heaney just because he's going to be playing on ball, and I think he's actually at a good price because of that 16 plus. Because if Isaac Heaney had like another 22 posi game, he's not going to be $1.20. So yeah, take Isaac Heaney now. Nick Blakey, I like more than Callum Mills, especially just kind of in a blowout. I think Callum Mills is the leader, the guy who controls the footy in pressure situations. I think Nick Blakey's the one who can get off the chain and just take the piss. Harley Reid getting around the footy a lot, spoken about. Callum Mills, still great value for 22. I still think he can hit, don't get me wrong. I just think I like Nick Blakey in this scenario a bit more. There's nothing really in 25 or 30 that I would like. Down to AFL Fantasy. Yeah, no, I don't think I had any options that were coming up in value here, but again, I'll scroll down if you want to pause and have a little look. But yeah, it's not really been a bracket or category that I'm that keen on. Yeah, awesome. I'm just going to quickly pause the video for 1 sec. So just a little update on the Sunday bets. I think this has been working well so far. It gives me time to actually get the Sunday bets organized, because then the extended bench is sorted. The teams are actually lined up, and we've also got a game Monday this week. So the Sunday bets you will find again here. I think this has worked pretty well so far. So this is my video from last week. You won't find it exactly here, but my video this week, down in the comments below, you'll see I do the Sunday bet, I do the Google Sheet, and that's essentially the form guide that you guys see every week here for the video. So click that, you'll see the picks. I hope it's been working well. Thank you for liking it, and it just letting me know that you guys are seeing it, which is great. So I'm not doing this work for no reason. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys. It really means a lot. So yeah, I think I'm going to continue this strategy for the moment, so then I don't have to, I don't know, just do picks days out in advance, because, you know, things can change. Like that Nick Dacos laid out last night was, I mean, only happened like 20 minutes before the game, but yeah, really hampered Collingwood's ball winning ability. So not that, actually, I probably would have those changes updated in the form guide. I did it for the North Melbourne Essendon game when I was in Melbourne. I had that updated just 15 minutes before the bounce. So people did see that and get on board that. So in the video of whatever week it is, there'll be a new Google Sheets thing. So click it there and we'll have the Sunday bets. But yeah, just wanted to say that. So hopefully we can continue to get up. Remember, I'm just going to keep reiterating, you only have to win 33% of the bets at $3 odds. So we've been winning only 3 a week and there's been 7 games. So we're making a profit. This has been our best start to the year. And again, thank you all so much for the support, liking the video, the comments. It really means the world. Like when I just see the comments saying thank you or for putting this up or, you know, appreciate the effort. Cause like, you know, obviously it sucks when the bets don't hit. Like, you know, a player who's 10 out of 10 and just super consistent, they can easily miss. All the players are human. I'm human. So yeah, I appreciate all the support, guys. It really means a lot. I do this for you guys. So until then, I'll have the video for next week, but check the comments below for the Sunday games. Till then, peace.